Jason, I want to say something. So, talent mobility is not cheap. It is expensive, right? So it's understandable when corporations are under pressure to increase profitability. Cost of capital has been high. That sort of doesn't square with, you've got to be really careful about how much you spend. So it makes sense. It would make sense for companies to cut back on mobility. How do you see that playing out at Energy? And why, when you have mobility happen, what does it look like and why does it happen?
I think it's shifting overall across the industry. And it provides that opportunity, we said, to really shift back into strategic mobility. I don't think that you'll see the traditional, advancement by location advancement increasing, but more of that talent first advancement. But the onus is on us. We all have a voice in corporate, and also you as our partners, to change that conversation, to drive that to a total talent objective where mobility becomes a strategic lever and operational lever for the organization, where we can truly demonstrate that return to the organization to offset the cost of what's perceived. Because there's a cost to not doing it if you can't do what you say you're going to do with your customers. But more importantly, we can show that reduced time to productivity, which then in turn is reduced time to start, which then provides operational outcomes to the organization that had not been realized sooner. So I think it provides a real opportunity to strategically embed with the right folks in finance, your operational leadership, but also bringing total talent into the conversation and not just a reactionary transactional item.
So actually that was one of the questions that came in from the audience was how do you demonstrate that ROI? And what you're saying is time to deployment, time to productivity, and time to business value creation, which ultimately leads to shareholder value creation.
Correct, and you can put dollar values in behind that. A lot of the challenges that you've seen previously in what I would call traditional mobility is it was always tied to either a technical or a leadership growth, and now that's coming in where I think that's shifting to that micro need that you have in the organizations where maybe it's you're in and you're getting out, so that shifts from moving an individual and their whole family to you're going to go out, help do this project base, then come back so you're not disrupting the family, which really is tying a lot of what's changed and who wants to relocate and doesn't. And then to be able to show that back from a financial standpoint, you can back that up of what that burden cost is of that role being empty every single day. But then also don't forget that for us, for example, in hypergrowth, you also have incentives both from a federal, a state, municipal areas that can offset those costs, grants, bills that come in that often aren't taken advantage of or the conversation's not being had at the right levels to change the mindset strategically as to how you move forward.
Interesting.